Hey, guys. We're back for another episode of It's On. I'm your girl, Vixia's Faith, and I got my girl, Wendy, with me.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello. Tonight,
Hold on. I'm
huh?
just seeing that. Okay, so new edition supposed to be coming in in March, right? March the 13th. That's what it said on the flyer. So when I look for ticket information, girl, they ain't got no Memphis dates on there.
Who posted this flyer?
Girl, look at my page. What is going on with my stuff? Look at my page.
Okay, hold on. They, I can't see.
New edition, Charlie Wilson and Jodeci.
It shows say March the 13th.
And so when I go on the ticket sales to see how much they're gonna be, I'm not seeing no Memphis location.
You know what? It
I,
might be the Soto Civic Center, too.
I'm looking for the date.
Huh?
I'm looking for the date. They got March the 12th and they got March the 18th.
They don't
March
have
the
the
12th is
13th
in
on there.
Ohio. March the 18th in California. I don't see no March the 13th.
Okay, well, I don't know
Okay.
what to say about that.
Ugh.
I just saw the tour announced, so maybe they're still finalizing details.
Okay.
I just saw the poster for the first time today. Okay, back to what we supposed to be doing. True story.
Okay.
We are talking about true
It's that
story today.
FedEx form.
Okay, we are talking about true story that stars Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. I'm super excited about this show. It was to me, I thought it was good. Wendy was like, I already knew what happened. Because she watched the first episode and the last episode before actually watching the whole show. Um, but it was different. It was good. It was good to see Kevin Hart in a serious role. I always like when comedians take that leap to the other side instead of always being funny and acting a fool. They dig deep. So Kevin Hart has had a few serious roles. First serious role that I saw him in, I think it was called The Upside. With the guy from uh, Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Bryan Cranston, I think is his name, was the main character. So that was the first time I saw him in a serious role. He was a little funny in that, but he wasn't as funny. It was a serious movie. It was a serious role. Then the next one of my faves. Anytime I feel like I'm getting down, I watch it. Fatherhood. I love that movie. It was really, really good.
Ugly cry.
Right. Really, 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 really good movie. I quite enjoyed it. Every once in a while, I'd be like, I feel like watching Kevin Hart, but I don't want to watch Kevin Hart act the fool. I will turn on Fatherhood. Well, True Story was really, really good. A lot of different things going on there in the show. So we're gonna delve into that. But first, Insecure. Now we only got 2 episodes left. Um, when did you get a chance to?
I watched it.
Okay. So
I don't
what do
think
you
she should go.
think?
I think she should go with the block. I don't think she should go with the Crenshaw dude.
So I mean, the block is her brand either way. But you're saying you think
I'm
she should
talking
go with
about the other thing. Yeah,
NBW instead of Crenshaw.
yeah.
So here's the thing that pisses me off about Crenshaw, and then we're gonna delve into this episode. Crenshaw threw such a big hissy fit. It was a big baby for no reason whatsoever. He can't get to where he needs without Issa. Like he literally needs Issa to move to the next level. And because he can't do what he needs to do because he didn't realize the work she actually put into it. Let me say this. As an event planner, y'all don't want to pay us no money, but we for real life go through drama. Not just with y'all, people who want the events, But we have behind the scenes stuff. We got vendors that we work with that we have to work with. We have to negotiate pricing. We gotta deal with the venue. It's so much that goes into putting an event together. If it's a large event, we gotta pull permits. We gotta pay for those things. These are things that this man didn't even think about, that this girl put into the event for his fashion show. And instead of him thinking about the fact that, guess what? These people paid for this fashion show. This was a sponsorship. He threw a hissy fit. Talk about Issa wasn't keeping it real. And then drug her name through the mud on a whole smear campaign. Through the mud.
Through the
Okay?
mud. Through the
So,
mud.
no, we're not. No, we ain't doing it. So I'm not okay with that. So for that reason alone, I agree with you. I would go with NBW too. You got where the money is, you know. So she
Let
has great,
somebody else work with them. That's
correct.
how I feel.
Somebody who's gonna be willing to put up with that garbage, but nobody's gonna be able to be willing to put up with the garbage. The other thing is, I'm not sure that she can't work with Crenshaw if she takes the opportunity with
And I was
NBW.
thinking about that too.
I don't think she can't work with him. I just think that she probably don't want to work with him. It's a bigger risk because you don't know where he going. But I don't think that she couldn't, because his fashion show was a success. So I don't know. We'll see. I do love the relationship piece between she and Nathan. I like how they're just chill, real comfortable. A lot of people were like, they didn't see the sparks. They got sparks, you know. It's just not the sparks that I think a lot of people are saying they don't see those sparks because everybody wants her to be with Lawrence. And I really think Lawrence got a lot of stuff to figure out, if that makes sense. With his life. He's just getting the co-parenting thing down. It's just kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So she made the phone call. He called her back. She didn't return the call, which I think was the right thing to do. A lot of people feel like she's going to end up married and pregnant and all this other stuff. And Miley going to find her boo thing. And, you know, all the things are going to be wrapped up.
You know what? Everybody's stories will be wrapped up because we already know that Tiffany, her husband, they're about to move.
We know that, yeah. I feel like Issa is going to choose no one. That's my prediction. I don't think she's gonna choose Nathan. I don't think she's gonna choose Lawrence. Right now, she and Nathan are talking about moving in together. So it's kind of like so it's crazy. I think it's crazy.
When herself in the mirror was talking to herself, talking about, you remember when we threw the baby in the trash? I was like, really?
Let me tell you something. I am not for the abuse of babies, but when she slam dunked that baby into that garbage can, I'm sorry, a free throw that baby into that garbage can, I hollered. Literally, I was hollering. So we see Issa got decisions to make. You know, Nathan and Lawrence. Lawrence keeps popping up in her thought process in her mind because I don't think she really got closure in that situation. And I think she really just needs closure. I don't think she needs to be with Lawrence. I just think she needs to close that chapter and close it for good.
I'm sorry, Lawrence is her big. That's it.
Huh?
Lawrence is her big.
But see, let me say this. Just because Lawrence is her big does not mean you need to be with Big. I didn't think Karen should have got married to Big. I'm just going to be really honest. Because, and we're going to get into that in a second, he was pretty awful to Karen throughout the whole series. He really was. He really was. I love Chris Noth as an actor, but he was really, really, really awful to Carrie.
Until he wasn't.
And so, we're going to get into that in a second. But I don't think that she needs to be with Lawrence. I really don't think she needs to be with anybody. I think she needs to focus on her career and do her. That's what I feel like needs to happen. So she and Nathan are thinking about consolidating their lives and moving in together. Nathan got his mental health on lock. He's still cutting hair at the barbershop, although he kind of had a little tiff with the barber at the barbershop on the last episode. Not the last episode, episode before last. Um, and Issa's trying to make these decisions, so she's having these daydreams of what each scenario would look like, and how Nathan or how Lawrence, because Lawrence just so happened to pop up out of nowhere, would fit into that situation for her. MBW has offered her a contract to sign with them exclusively. And they're gonna put money into the events that she throws and she puts on. Crenshaw has approached her, of course, we just talked about that, with an opportunity to, you know, rock with him. He's trying to get some things going. He didn't realize what it took and what she put into it. And so now he's sweating her. She don't know which direction to go in. She wants to take the block to every hood in the country. So I like how she kind of has a vision for where she wants to go with it. But then she's also looking at, but if I work with Crenshaw, I can open up more stores for him and get his brand put out there. So a lot of people still don't know what Issa does. Issa is a brand specialist. Basically, she helps you elevate your brand. That's what she does. So it's putting on an event for your brand, making sure that your brand is pushed to the forefront, social media, promotions. She's going out and securing dollars and money for your brand to make sure your brand is elevated to the next level. And she's doing it with Black businesses. So I'm super excited about that, because that's the message. That's something that I've always wanted to do myself with my event planning, is always making sure that I'm putting Black businesses on the forefront and making sure that I'm shopping with Blacks. Now, I've had some pretty crazy situations in the event planning world with Black people. That don't mean I don't love my folks. It don't mean I'm not gonna still rock with them. But I have had some crazy situations with dealing with Black businesses. So sometimes you got to go to the other side, or you have to cross the aisle, if you will, like they say in politics, to get to where you need to be. And so I'm all for that. So her thought processes are going. Now on this next episode, it's gonna be the going away party for Tiffany and Derek. Lawrence don't know if he want to go, because if Issa gonna be there, he don't want to be there. And those are really her friends anyway. And I'm like, but Derek is your boy. Like, why would you explain to me why you doing it? And so apparently he and old girl is gonna
Condola
show up. Condolences.
together.
Condolences is my favorite. Apparently they are going to show up to the party with the baby, looking like a happy family. Um, and Issa's gonna feel a type of way. Um, Nathan is not gonna like it either. He's gonna tell his cousin, because he and his cousin have now bonded. So it's gonna be a whole thing. Of course, I'm sure it's gonna be a whole ball of drama. I'm praying and hoping that no drama erupts. I pray it stays chill. I like drama, but I'm seeing growth in all the characters. I need them to continue to grow and move forward so we can wrap these stories up. We'll see how it works out. Oh, also, Molly finally finished the estate planning for her mom and dad. She and Tori had already gone out on one date, and they were going to go out on a second date, and so she had big plans for that. Kelly help her mom and dad figure out their whole situation. Kelly did it with humor. She did her thing. I liked it. It seems like Kelly likes doing this and helping people kind of take care of their final wishes. I posed a question today on my Facebook page. Why is it that in our community we don't have conversations about estate planning, about wills, and about life insurance? We don't have those conversations. We don't sit down and talk about it. Everybody needs a will. If you got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, you need a will. Somebody got to get the house. Somebody got to get the car. Somebody got to get the savings in the bank account. Somebody has to get those things. I've seen it where people have not set up their financial situation to where if something happens to them, things are going to be properly taken care of in the event that they pass. They don't have that set up. So because they don't have that set up, you have people, family members fighting over their things. You have people going to the houses and stealing stuff out the house. I've seen it. This is not something I heard about. I've literally seen this happen. It's crazy and it's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. So I like that they're pushing that point through and forward. It was a lot on Molly, and Torian was very supportive and understanding about the fact that Molly had a rough time with her mom and dad. A lot of people said, well, she's crying because maybe one of her parents is about to die. No, she's crying because that's hard. It's hard. It's like pulling teeth trying to get the old folk to do the right thing. Um, so make sure y'all check it out. We got 2 more episodes left. I'm thinking we're gonna get a day after Christmas season finale or series finale. Um, and it's gonna be a little longer, just a smidge longer, not as long as we would like, but just a smidge longer. Hopefully they don't wrap it up so much so to where we cannot revisit Insecure. Much like, you know, the next show that we're gonna talk about, I would like to see a rebooted version of Insecure in some way, shape, or form, catching up with the ladies, catching up with their relationships, where they are in life, that sort of thing. So make sure you guys check out Insecure on HBO and HBO Max, 9 p.m. Central, 9 Central, I'm sorry. HBO Max, Insecure. All right. And speaking of a reboot, and just like that, aired their first 2 episodes on HBO Max this past week. Super excited. Wendy, this is your forte, girl.
Girl. Okay. So yes, this is my forte. I've been a Sex and the City fan since day one,
Right.
aka the white girlfriends, aka the white living single,
Right.
aka right, but what I liked about this show, they really talked about what we talk about sex.
Right.
And so, but basically, and just like that, it's not like Sex in the City, because Sex in the City, they were mostly single. The majority, they were single the majority of the time,
Right.
except when Charlotte got married to Trey, and then she divorced Trey, then married her divorce lawyer and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Miranda married Steve
Steve.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie didn't marry Big until the movie. But
Child,
now, huh?
I'm still mad about how that went down. Keep going.
Yeah. And so now it's about these 3 friends, because Samantha, we're gonna talk about Samantha later, is about these friends now adjusting to being in the mid-50s. And you got Charlotte and Miranda having teenagers, and and stuff like this. So they're dealing with life stuff.
Girl,
Okay.
white teenagers
Yes.
versus black teenagers, honey. I cannot.
Yes, girl. So so we come to find out they did not kill Samantha off, which I am glad. So apparently, Carrie fired her as her publicist, which made Samantha feel some kind of way.
Of
And
course.
so she took a job in London.
Mm-hmm.
But then not only did she stop befriending Carrie, but the other 2 as well.
Yeah.
So we know that it's a potential that if it's such a success, maybe she wants to come back. We don't know. But I'm thinking they're leaving the door open, especially on episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, before you say anything. But on episode 2, when they said the flowers was from Samantha,
Yeah.
I was like, that's like a olive branch saying, okay, the door is left open. That's my intake of it. I don't know if she's gonna take it or not. Okay, so episode 1.
Okay, go ahead. Because I was
Episode 1,
okay.
we have the 3 girls together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're on the table talking, at the table at some kind of restaurant talking. And Charlotte was talking about Lily's piano recital. Are you going to be able to make it? She looks at Miranda. Yeah, we're going to come. I guess we're going to come. Then she looks at Carrie. Oh, Big and I are going to the Hamptons. We're going to the Hamptons on Wednesday, so I'm not going to be able to make it.
Right.
Charlotte, but you got to make it. You got to come. You can go to Hamptons anytime. this is a recital. You can go to the Hamptons anytime. So she kind of guilt tripped Carrie
She did into
into
coming. Yeah.
into coming. And so she said, well, let me ask Big if we can leave Friday, and so we can make it. So she asked. So later on that day, she asked Big, is it okay if we go Friday because Lily has a piano recital,
Right.
and he was like, yes. And he's been talking about this Peloton bike, and we're gonna talk about this after we talk about the show, because Peloton has been tripping, and they have been milking this publicity like it was
Well,
nothing
they
else.
had no choice because the day after the show aired, their stocks plummeted. So they didn't have. Yes, the stock went down.
I wish I would have known.
The
I would
stocks
have
went
bought some stock.
down. Stocks went down. So they marketing team got right on it. Let's get this cardiologist. Let's get big in this commercial. Let's do yes, baby. Their stocks went
Okay.
down.
Okay, so Big was excited that he's about to do his 1,000 ride with Peloton, and he had this favorite instructor called Allegra. And so, they was joking, you think I'm jealous of Allegra, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's the night of the recital. Okay, Carrie is at the recital, and Big is on his bike. Okay. This is the most important thing. We skipped a lot of stuff, but the other stuff don't matter. This is what matters. Okay. So Lily first
Not
we
her new
see.
boss or not Miranda's situation with her professor.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But first let me talk about Big and stuff. Then we can talk about that. Okay. So yeah, because Carrie's now doing podcasts like we are and stuff, and that's interesting. And I understand why she was so uncomfortable talking about masturbation when that's what she talked about on Sex and the City.
Well, and that was the whole point because the name of her column was Sex in the City, and they followed her column and they read her books. So that the reason why she was there was she was a heterosexual um, woman, cisgender woman. You had your lesbian, you had your cisgender male, and then you had this heterosexual woman who has lived her life in these streets. Okay, Kara was out here doing her thug thizzle, um, and in the streets doing her thing. So yeah, keep going.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that later. So we're gonna talk about that later. Okay, so we have um what's her name? Nicole Parker. And the guy that plays her husband is the dude that played George Washington
Yeah,
on Hamilton. His name is Christopher somebody. I forgot his last
I'm gonna
name.
look it up. Keep going.
So their son plays first, and he doesn't do super hot, but he does good for a beginner, but he's not at the advanced level. Next thing
Right.
you know, here comes Lily. She's playing beautifully. And side note, the children are not the same children that played in the movie and on the show. They're different. They cast different actors.
Okay.
Okay. And so you knew something bad was gonna happen because they kept on showing Carrie listening to the music. Then you kept on seeing Big doing the cycling. You just had that feeling something was going to happen.
Christopher Jackson is his name.
Christopher Jackson. I think he's a cutie pie. But
He
anyway.
is cute. Go ahead.
And so Big finished his big old Peloton bike ride, and he's feeling like he's accomplished something. And so, before Carrie left, I forgot to say that before Carrie left, she put on her wedding shoes that she married Big in,
Right.
and then she said, "Well, if you want to leave tonight, we can leave tonight." And he said, "Well, let me let you know. I don't know how I'm going to feel after this Peloton bike ride." So, and then she said, "Do you notice something different? You notice anything?" And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "No, not really." And she was like, "Oh," he said, "I know you're wearing the wedding shoes and stuff like that." And so when she walked out the door, they was looking at each other lovingly, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to he got finished with the bike ride. He gets finished with the bike ride. And
Mhm.
so he started doing this to his shoulders. He started holding his shoulders a little bit. And he goes into the shower. Then all of a sudden, he stoops over and he slumps down and sits down on the thing. His phone
Right.
is away, so
Right.
he's not able to reach for his phone.
Right.
But he was able to text Terry, let's leave tonight. And so he slumped, and now Carrie is walking out with Stanford, and she looks at his thing, at her phone. Hold on one second.
Okay. Where he says, "Let's leave tonight."
Right, he said, let's leave tonight. And then she said, okay. She looked at her phone. Okay, y'all. Basically, Big is calling. My man is calling. I'm finna go. Can't have no cocktails with you. See ya. Okay, so she
Right.
goes home and she's calling John, 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 and she goes into the bathroom where he's in the shower stall. And he looks at her and she looks at him, and she knows something is wrong.
Right.
And so she runs to him, gets her shoes all wet, and she's just holding him. And I'm just thinking, call 911, fool. Call 911. Why don't you call 911? And so she's just looking at him. She's like, John, oh gosh, no, John, John, no, John, John, oh, John, John. And then he hugs her for the last time, and just like that, Big guy. That was the most emotional
I
thing
was shocked. I wasn't
that
ready.
I was witnessing, because I felt every emotion Carrie was feeling at that time, because I know how she felt. I knew
Right.
how she felt, and
Right.
I was doing such a ugly cry.
Yeah.
It was not even funny. I
Yeah.
was just sobbing, and I was sobbing uncontrollably. Okay, my mom was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, I'm going through a lot. It's just too much. I'm just going through a lot. I'm in like a ball of emotion. I said, I just dropped Joshua off, and I'm like nervous and anxious, and now I'm watching this. And my mom was like, it is okay, honey. But okay. So Miranda, she decided to quit her law firm. And I think she wanted to work in law that it was about civil rights or something like that, if I'm not
It's like
mistaken.
human rights is her major. She's getting her master's in human rights and something like that. And so she's
Oh, you
going
talk
back.
about that.
So she's going back to school to get her master's in law. Um, and she's at Columbia taking classes, and she has a black professor. And she put her foot in her mouth, talking about her braids and mentioning her being black, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, then so she felt a little bad. First of all, she also feels kind of old. Now, keep in mind, let's be real and honest. The average law school student is not fresh out of college. Average law school student has lived life. They're a little older, um, and so getting your master's in law is, I don't know how realistic this storyline is, because I know law students are not super young when they go to law school always.
Mm-mm.
Um, the other thing with that is that she kind of put her foot in her mouth in several different ways. She assumed, number one, that her professor was not the professor in the class, because they told her she was sitting in the wrong seat, and it was just quite a few different things. Um, the professor is going through some stuff too. Her husband, they want to have children. They're trying to have children, and she's not. I also want to note that the lady that's playing the professor in Sex in the City is one of the producers, or plays one of the producers on the morning show. So I like this lady. She got some good acting chops. And I have to look her up to get her name, but she's really really good. I loved her on the morning show, and she's giving me what I need here as well. Miranda continues to put her foot in her mouth, but it seems like she and the professor are gonna reach some type of common ground by the end of the second episode. Charlotte, oh my god, Charlotte is seems to be more upset about Big's death than Carrie
Oh,
is.
okay, so we haven't talked about the second episode yet.
We haven't.
So what? So what's new going on with Charlotte? Nothing really new is going on with
Nothing.
Charlotte.
Her
Just
kid. She's just had her. She got two different girls. She's happily
right,
married. One girl is girly girl, and she can wear the dresses and all this stuff, which is the oldest. And then her younger baby, which Charlotte she couldn't have kids at first. Is that right? And she adopted Lily. Is that what happened?
right. She adopted Lily. Sometimes when people have problems conceiving with when they adopt, then all of a sudden they end up getting pregnant. That
And
has
we have a
happened.
friend, their mom, that happened to their mom. That friend was adopted, and then all of a sudden, after he was adopted, well, not all of a sudden, but a little on down the line, their mom became pregnant with the youngest, and so yeah, I've seen that happen before. Um, so she had this other kid after she adopted Lily. And was it in the movie? That in the first movie, is that
That
when?
was the first movie
Okay,
because
so let me tell
yeah, it
you
was the first
why
movie.
they probably didn't get the same actresses to play those roles. The
I
first
read
movie
about
was
it.
the first movie was in 2008.
I read about it.
Okay, I didn't read about it. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking. It's just my thought
Okay.
process. The first movie was in 2008. The baby was a baby, and the older girl was like what, 4 or 5?
No, Lily was 2.
Was she 2?
Lily was 2. Okay, Lily was 2 years old when she was pregnant with Rose.
But she had on the first movie, she had Rose, right?
No, the first movie she was pregnant with Rose. She got
Okay, she
pregnant
didn't
with
have
Rose.
Rose. Okay, I
Mm-mm.
thought some on one of the movies, one of the baby had a whole nervous breakdown. I didn't think it was Lily because
That
Lily
was
said,
Lily.
was it
That was
Lily?
Lily.
Okay,
That was Lily.
okay,
That was on the second movie though.
okay, 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 okay,
Lily was about four then, 4 or 5 then,
okay. So
because Rose was like 2.
okay, so that and the second movie was 2 years later. So
Right, right. So but the movie, the movie, both movies, it was the same actor. Brady played the same Brady from the show to the 2 movies, but this is a new Brady. I'm
right,
thinking, I do believe that both Lily Rose, the actress that played Lily and Rose, they were twins, and I believe Brady was a twin too. But none of the kids decided they wanted to act after that. That's
okay,
why.
and that's fine. But I also think timeline might be slightly off too. Just a thought. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, I've already discovered that Lily should be older.
Yeah.
No, Brady should be older.
Brady should be older, but Lily should be older too.
Yeah, Brady should be like 1920.
Right. Right.
So we having a soap opera thing going on here. Okay. Second show. Brady, for some reason, Miranda and Steve think makes it okay for Brady to have sex with his girlfriend
Girl,
in
I
the
don't
house.
know. I can't.
And so they're making all kinds of noise. They're making all kinds of noise. And
Well,
Poor
Steve can't
Steve,
hear. Steve can't
he
hear.
can't hear. He got to wear a hearing aid.
Mm.
And in fact, he turned off his hearing aid during the recital. It was so funny. And so next thing you know, it's like 8 a.m. in the early morning, and phone rings, and and Miranda's like, "Steve, the phone." And he's like, "Who's calling us at this hour?"
Oh my God,
And
he
it's
sounds like an old
Carrie.
man for real too. You're not that old, Steve. Oh my God, he sounds like
Right,
like a granddaddy. Oh God.
right. And so she knocks on Carrie's door, and Carrie hears a mess and everything. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm thinking, I'm just like the hope of all hopes that Big is in the hospital. That the ambulance came and got Big or something. And next you see the coroner take his body in the body bag.
No.
And that's when it hits me. I'm like, no. I'm like Florida. Damn, damn, damn.
Right, right,
Ah!
exactly. So
And you go ahead and talk about Charlotte.
so Charlotte is, oh my God. Charlotte can't keep it together. period. Okay.
Because Charlotte feels guilty.
She feels guilty, but baby, this is team too much though. Charlotte is doing the most. It's so much so that the funeral director at one of the funeral homes she visited thought that Charlotte was
The
Big's
grieving
wife
widow.
and not Carrie. So she did team too much.
Yeah.
Um, they had the funeral, but before they had the funeral, Miranda and Charlotte were taking turns um
Spending
with
the night with
spending the
Carrie.
night over Carrie's house. They didn't want her to be at the house by herself. So they were taking those turns doing that. One day, because Carrie was tired of Charlotte and all her crying and stuff, um, Carrie had invited, what's that baby's name?
Stanford and Miranda.
Stanford. And it was Miranda's night anyway, so Miranda was already
And this
over.
was after the funeral.
Was it after the funeral?
It was after the
Okay, it was
funeral.
after the funeral. Funeral was lovely, by the way. A lot of people were there. Um, some weird
I
situations.
forgot that girl who was saying, did anybody remember how he used to be a prick to her?
He was a prick to
He
her.
was.
He
And I was like,
absolutely was. That was
but
not a
then,
lie.
but
Um,
then, so when Carrie goes into the place just to check it out to make sure everything is fine, she noticed there's flowers on his casket. Even though he's gonna be cremated, she still ordered a casket. She did not rent a casket, she ordered a casket.
right,
Um, and she wanted to know what was going on with the flowers. So the coordinator was like, these arrived after we hung up,
right.
and there's a card with it. And so you see the card. You know who I was thinking it was gonna be from?
Oh,
Natasha.
I
Wife number
thought
two.
so too.
I thought it was gonna be from Natasha, but no, it was from Samantha. And that's why I said, okay, this is probably their way of saying, hey, if you want to come back,
I
there's an
don't think that
olive
they're
branch.
not gonna ever let her come back. This is solely on Kim Cattrall. Let me say this: Kim says she happy where she at. Kim says she is working, she is booked and busy, she is traveling the world, and she don't need this little show. She don't want to be Samantha no more. Now, do I think she will never come back? I don't know. I don't think she's
That's what I'm
waiting on
saying.
success for the show because I think because we are fans of Sex and the City. I think she realizes that the show's going to be successful regardless. I
Mhm.
don't think she's coming back. I think that's it. The ship
If
has
she
sailed.
does, it's a shocker. But I think that's just an olive branch to let her know that
But it
you are
shouldn't
always
have ever
welcome.
had to be an olive branch. I don't know what really was the issue between Kim and Sarah Jessica Parker. I've read different things. I've heard Sarah never has openly spoken about the situation, but it's always been from Kim's end of it. If I remember
Right,
correctly,
right.
and even Chris Knott, who plays um
Big.
Big, he said he didn't understand. He said Sarah is super sweet, nice to everybody on the set, very professional. Kim thought it was crazy that they all stayed together and she wasn't invited to stay. And I think maybe she just got offended that those girls were closer. I don't know. But whatever the situation was, again, wonderful acting because I would have never known had they never said anything about it. I would have never known that it was some type of beef, between them.
Right, because the chemistry was so good on
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Okay, so Stanford got his stick up in his butt because he was mad that Miranda was speaking, but Carrie wrote what Miranda was saying.
I just think he needed to bring it back some too because it's not about you, boo boo. It's not. It's not about you.
Right,
Um,
right.
I
And
think his
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 brother spoke.
husband is real annoyed with him.
Yeah.
Super annoyed
Um,
with him.
his brother, Big's brother spoke, and just told Carrie, "Thank you for making him happy." They played some music while they were showing
Which
videos.
is the last song I think that they uh played during their dinner time. Which
Because they said during the pandemic they was listening to the records that he had in alphabetical order, and
right,
I think they was on what, the S's or something, the R's or something. They
ours
was
or something like
on,
that. Yeah.
right. And so I just thought their dynamic. Then he got her cooking in the kitchen. I was like, what?
Things that
Because
she
she used
never
to
did before
did.
because she was not a
She used to
cooker.
hide clothes
In
in
the
the
oven,
stove.
honey. In the oven. Right.
And so okay, so it's after the funeral. She's at home. She is some days later. His ashes shows up. And no, when she came home.
They were
When she
there.
came home, no, not they was there, but it was a whole bunch of flowers, not
Flowers.
flowers,
That's
but
right. I'm
gifts,
sorry. It was
gifts. It
flowers
was
and
gifts,
baked
some
goods and
food and
yeah,
stuff
all over the
like that.
place. Yeah.
And Charlotte said, if you want me to, I can give it to our temple. They can use this food and stuff like that. It was just too much stuff. I was like, good
You
Lord
could have sent
Jesus.
back. Look, the muffins and stuff could have came over here to me. I'm just saying.
I'm
Oh,
just saying the macaroons and all of that. And so then and then after that, that's when the Ashley shows up and she calls Stanford and I'm not Charlotte, Miranda. Because Miranda has a level head. And might I add, I like Miranda as a parent. Because when she called her son smoking that weed
she
and
went
he was trying to
ham.
talk, she talked crazy to
She
her.
went ham.
She said, what did you say? Where's that? She was like, I'm not playing.
Ham. She went ham. She went
I
ham.
said, go,
She
Charlotte,
went
go. I
ham.
mean, go, Miranda, go,
Yeah, she went
Miranda,
ham.
go.
So I think it's safe to say that it's safe to say that Miranda. I mean, when Miranda got there, Carrie, she was like, "Oh my God, tell her y'all not here." Or she said, "Sanford go
No,
hide."
no. She
She
said,
told
go
Sanford to go
hide.
hide because it was Miranda's night to stay with her anyway. So, hey, you loud. Um, and so Sanford was like, "Why do I have to hide?" So he went ahead, but he left his drink. So when Miranda showed up, he runs
No,
out to get
Charlotte,
his
Charlotte,
drink.
Charlotte, Charlotte.
Charlotte, I'm sorry. When Charlotte shows up at the door, he runs out to get his drink. And when he does that, she sees him. Is that Sanford? Why is Sanford over here? Blah blah blah. So they have their moment. She, tells her,
She told her, she said, look, you over dramatic, basically. You take things too far. You take things out of things. And she said, I just feel bad. She said, no. I mean, I think Carrie got it out. She got it out.
she
She
did.
said, I feel guilty because I didn't want to go to their recital. And I
Right.
did it anyway.
Yep.
And I think they're kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the neighbor across the hall says, is everything okay? She said, yeah, I feel everything is okay. And then she tells Miranda and Stanford to get back in the apartment. And then she walked, and then she told Charlotte, come on, come on. I think I done bruised your ego enough. Come on.
Right.
But I understand totally that now seeing it, I'm like, okay, everything makes sense to me now because even though the actor of Stanford Blatch actually passed in real life, so they had to kill him off of the show. I was thinking that was his ashes that she was pouring in France because Big was beside her.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, okay, that's his ghost beside her.
And so let me also say this: Chris Noth is on another show, The Equalizer with Queen Latifah.
I read something about that. Him being on the other show did not have anything to do with that.
Okay, I didn't
He
realize that. That's
right,
what I was
right,
thinking
right. That's what I was thinking too.
because that's a
It would
demanding
not have
schedule.
interfered. It
Okay,
would not have interfered. Chris just thought that he his character has done everything. That he really doesn't have anything to give. That character doesn't have anything to give. So what they did was they talked, and he talked with the writers and the producers, and they agreed to go ahead and kill Big off because he was like, okay, Big and Carrie, they did it. They got married. What is there left? They're not gonna have any kids because Carrie was like, I don't want no kids, and
and
he was
at
too
this
old to have
point,
kids.
and huh?
He was too old to have kids. They was in their
No,
50s.
they can have kids well into whenever. Now, men can still have kids after a certain
Right,
point.
right. I'm talking about Carrie. But Carrie was like, no,
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
Carrie
love
probably been through menopause and everything else. No.
I'm gonna love on my grandbaby. Not a grandbaby, my godbaby. Because I think she's the godmother of Lily.
And she
She's the
got,
godmother of
the
Brady.
other kids too. She
The
can love on
Brady.
them as well, right? And she's
Right.
fine. Yeah,
And so big. I mean, Chris is like, you know what? This character it really can't grow any more than he already has. So they did it a dignified way instead of him deciding to divorce her.
right.
Because I'm thinking that because I was seeing the scenes where she was kissing another man, I was like, how did her and Big break up? It was a lot of things that I was seeing, but it was just gave her the closure that
Right,
she stuck with him until he died.
right,
And
right.
he waited on her. He waited for her before he died.
Yeah. So that's my thing. Yeah, she did her thing. They did that thing, and I'm glad that it didn't end in any type of unnecessary drama. And I think this is the change that they need so Carrie can get back to Carrie. And that'll probably cause her to open up a little bit more on her podcast so that she won't get kicked off. And I think she's going to eventually open up and explore again. So I think that's I think a good thing, if you will. Not a good thing that he died. Let me back up off of that. But I think with her being married, she kind of became sort of prudish, if you will. Um, when we get older and we are married or we're in a serious relationship, some of those things that we did in our 20s and our 30s, that it's kind of like, oh my god, clutching perils. And that's how it seemed like she was on the podcast. So maybe this is something that's gonna that drastic change that's gonna take her to where she needs to be so that she can elevate herself on the podcast. I don't know, I'm just putting it out there right now.
Yeah.
So
But Sex in the City, and just
and
like that,
just
I'm
like
still
that.
gonna say it.
Yeah.
It comes on a new episode every Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
They took me there, but we're gonna talk about the Peloton about 5 minutes. Okay, Peloton ads coming out. Folks are trashing Peloton ass in. I'm not buying this after what you did to Big. Big died. Big, you killed Big. This big, that big. It has been hilarious. And I've been sharing the ads and be like, y'all gotta read these comments. Go
I mean,
straight
the
to the comments.
cardiologist said Big was still eating steak and drinking bourbon and
And
smoking
smoking cigars.
cigars. Yeah,
And
like
and
you can't.
forget and y'all and remember is was it episode it was season 5 it was season 5 he had a bypass surgery, he had
Right,
a triple bypass surgery.
right. So
So
yeah, so y'all make sure y'all checking just like that out. We about to move on.
yeah, let's move on.
All right. Um,
You talk about Portia Family Matters.
I can talk about Portia. The Real Housewives, their new episode, the last episode, is not going to air until this upcoming week. So we will talk about that then or next week briefly when we talk about our top 10 Christmas shows, or
Mhm.
Christmas movies. I'm sorry. So we'll briefly talk about the ending of that. I'm gonna start with Portia because Portia comes on first. So the family makes it to Mexico. Um, they tricked Dennis, not tricked Dennis, but coerced Dennis into coming on this trip. Her mom is sick and mom is not there. I don't know what happened, but Mama Diane was kind of pissed off because Portia told her mom what Dennis's mom told her, which was that she told that Portia's mom told Dennis's mom that Portia cheated on Dennis. Which I think that woman just wants Portia to look like the bad guy. Let me
Mhm.
say this. Dennis left some clothes over Portia's house. Mainly this robe, this Gucci robe that he wants. Okay. Um, a lot of people are saying that Portia shouldn't have kept his robe. He shouldn't have left it there. That man left them clothes there so people could think if anybody comes over, they can feel like he's always gonna be there. He want to make sure his head is always thrown. His head is always thrown in the game. That's what he wants people to think. He's got blindsided by this Dennis thing because she's engaged to Dennis. That was blindsided to I mean not Dennis, to Simon. That blindsided him. Now I'm not fond of her aunt at this point because it seems like aunt going with Mama Gina, which I'm not cool with. I'm not okay with it all. That's what it seems like. It seems like, and her family doesn't seem to be too keen on they they a little shady when it comes to talking about Simon. Naming her cousin Storm. Storm is getting on my absolute nerves. Storm doesn't like Dennis because she claims Dennis tried to hit on her while he was with Portia. Do I believe Dennis probably tried to hit on her? Probably. Um, she got fired from one of his restaurants because he said she didn't do work or whatever. I don't know about that. But whatever the situation is, they sit down at the table and they erupt into this big old fight over this stupid robe. Portia, get that man his robe back. Let that go. Leave it alone. Let that man have his robe. He's trying to bring a date. He's bringing a girl on the family trip. Which here is my thing. Let me say this. I do not have a problem with introducing the kids to someone new if that's the person that you're dating. But I don't think you bring people in when you're dating multiple people and you're not exclusively dating somebody. I got to say though, it must be the money with Mr. Dennis because he pulling chicks left and right. He's been pulling them the whole time he was dating Portia apparently, and he's steady pulling chicks left and right here and there. I don't know what it is. This is about to be a mess though. I just want y'all to know that right now, and that's what we're watching it for. Check out the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Portia's Family Matter comes on Sundays on Bravo 8/7 Central. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Basically, everybody's talking about the trip for Belle, and Jen is calling people. Nobody reached out to her or answered her call except for um, initially, except for Heather. Heather sat down, talked to her, heard her side of the story, the whole shebang. Went back, talked to Jenny and Whitney. Apparently, Whitney has called Cameron herself. She reached out to Cameron. She got Cameron's number so she can get this tea on Mary. So she can come and use it against Mary, whatever that situation is looking like. Which, again, up until this point, Mary has been nothing but nice to you until the situation, the little falling out. And really, I would let it roll off my back and keep it pushing. Um,
Yeah. They better leave Mary alone. She
they
said,
better
"You
leave
come
Mary
after
alone.
me,
Cameron is
I'm
not
gonna
with us
send
anymore.
Jesus after you."
He ain't with us no more. Y'all better quit playing. Um, So they're all talking. Mary, they showed Mary telling her husband, what happened at the end of the trip. Uh it seems like Mary is on the outs with Heather and Whitney now. And soon it's probably gonna be dang near the whole cast, it seems. We're gonna see how that how that flies. Um so everybody just kind of talked about what happened on the trip. Um, Jenny's gonna have this event where people get to taste Vietnamese food or like a Vietnamese tasting. She's inviting all the ladies. We don't know how that's gonna work out because Whitney and Heather don't like Mary. Jen and Mary probably are not on the best of terms. Um, Lisa is about to not be on the best of terms um, with Mary either. So it's about to be a whole big mess. So make sure y'all check out Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're still speculating on whether or not Jen is guilty or innocent. It's not looking good for Jen. Jen is now, when she explains her side of the story, says Stewart has his own businesses and he was not her assistant. So I'm super crazy. This before now on the show, Stewart was her first assistant, her main sidekick assistant. Whenever Stewart is needed, he jumps and hops. So if you're not on Jen's payroll, what are you doing? Because I don't like to hang. I love my friends, but I don't like to hang out with my friends that much that I'm coming to pick them up every time they call me. That's not what this is. This is. So I don't know. I'm side eyeing and questioning it all day long. We'll see. I don't like the fact that the feds held a gun to her child's head.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
like
was
that at all.
overboard.
That was
That
not
was
cool.
overboard.
This woman did not kill nobody. She had no gun. She didn't even know y'all coming. It was unnecessary for them to do what they did and how they did it. So I did not agree with that at all. So make sure you check out Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on Sundays, Bravo, 9 8 Central. Real World Homecoming, Los Angeles. Did you see this week's episode?
Go ahead, talk about it.
So, couple of things I just want to touch on. David has some of the same things that we saw in David on the first time around. You're seeing it now, but now everybody kind of speculates that David may have a drinking problem. Um,
I could have said that.
I mean, he's pouring gin in his water bottle. It's just all kinds of crazy stuff. John, is it John? Is his name John, the cowboy? Is it John?
Yes.
Okay. They were talking and they were talking about sex, and John had told them that he was still a virgin. He was a youth pastor. He's waiting on marriage, but he probably is not gonna get married because he's like 40 something years old, and
He's still
that
a
ain't,
virgin.
he's still a virgin. Um, he probably ain't gonna get married at this point. And so Tamara was like, I would like for you to feel, coochie, at least once in your
Oh,
life. And he gets offended when you mention his virginity and stuff. So he still gets offended. And Tamara was being funny. She didn't mean to offend him, but hey, she knew what it was. So she came back and apologized. But the main thing was David and his drinking. And everybody kind of see it and they're pretty concerned. So we're going to see how that unravels on this next episode to see if they're going to confront him or how this is going to work out and play out. So Real World Homecoming Los Angeles
I
comes
can't
on every
believe it.
Thursday on Paramount.
He should go ahead and be one of them Catholic priests.
Well, he's a youth pastor. So let me say this. There are some pastors that do the right thing. And I like to think that John is one of those pastors. He actually does what it says to do in the Bible. He does it. I ain't mad at that man for that. If that's what that man wants, if he don't never want to feel cooch in his life, let that man not feel the cooch. Okay? Let him do what he does. And they shouldn't ridicule him for it. They were playing and joking. He kind of took offense to it. He didn't like it. Glenn and David, I think, are gonna go head to head because they kind of got into an argument because Glenn made a joke about Tammy's wigs, and Tammy was joking with Glenn. David took offense to it. Don't be talking about her wigs. He threw an apple at Glenn. Glenn was pissed off about it and was poking the bear while David was drunk. Which I don't think David is not gonna be inebriated on this trip. On this upcoming episode, they're going to take a trip on a yacht for a day. And I think that's where Irene is going to renew her vows. But some things are going to come to a head because they are going to bring up David's drinking, I imagine. And so there are some things that are going to pop out. So we will see that. So again, Real World Homecoming Los Angeles. Make sure you check it out on Paramount. Why did I do this again?
I don't
I don't know
know.
why I did that. Okay. True story. Here we go. Rundown. rundown. So this show stars Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, um, Paul Adelstein. Hold on, Lord Jesus, because I done Googled something else. Paul Adelstein, couple other players. Oh, my baby, Will Catlett. He is so fine. Oh my God, that man is fine. I don't know if he got a wife, but I'm just saying he's fine. Billy Zane looking like a whole snack. You know what I'm saying? To put a couple of pounds on. Theo Rossi, he did an excellent job as Gene. I loved it. Lauren London made an appearance. So you had some very good actors and actresses playing on this show, on this limited series. So here is the rundown. You got a famous comedian. You got his brother, who every time you turn around, his hand is out. Hands out, he
Probably
means
like
something.
every other celebrity siblings do.
Absolutely. Um, he goes home to Philly because, of course, every time he from somewhere, he gonna be from Philly. It seems. Goes to Philly. For a big show. He got a couple of nights of shows in Philly, and his brother is hanging out with him in Philly. Of course, his brother is trying to be extra and big, but his brother owes some people some money. To the tune of $600,000 because he went belly up on a restaurant, which was his latest idea. Because he had a car wash, his brother invested in that. He had a check cashing place, his brother invested in that. And now this restaurant, he got a liquor
I,
license, but I got no
I'm
restaurant.
surprised that check cashing place went down because the way they be
I'm
charging
just
folks
saying.
and stuff.
I'm just saying. So brother can't get right, is mixed up in some stuff. He's trying to get out of it so he can get this money. Okay. So they go out night after the show, party, hang out. He meets this girl, go back to the room. His brother comes, wakes
But
him up. Hey
but
man,
but,
hey,
but you
go ahead.
forgot. You forgot. He was supposed to be sober because he was an alcoholic, Kevin Hart, and he
Right.
was what I don't know how
Well,
many
I think
years
a
sober he
drug
was.
addict and an alcoholic, because I think at one point his ex asked him, was he using again? He's like, no,
Hmm.
I ain't using again. So he's not supposed to do alcohol because that takes him a little further to the drug part of it, if I'm not mistaken, because I think it was deeper than just alcohol.
Hmm.
So he wasn't supposed to be drinking, partying, doing his thing. Go back to the room with the girl. Brother wakes him up. Hey man, wake up, wake up. The girl dead. What? She's OD'd on oxy. He got the little oxy coating pill bottle and all this stuff. Now here's my question. I want to know why this man ain't check this girl's pulse. That's what I want to know. Why you ain't go and check her pulse, dog?
Well, you know when he was trying to call the ambulance, he was like, "No, no, 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 we don't want to get them on there because I got a rat. I got a rat. I got a rat."
Right. But I would have at least checked the girl's pulse, because had you checked the girl's pulse, you would have seen she was alive. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna let it ride. So
And I
they have to
kind of
get rid of the
figured.
body.
I said that brother got something to do with it. When I first saw that first episode, I said Wesley Snipes' character got setting him up. He's setting him up. But go ahead.
So uh they call Ari, who is played by Billy Zane. Like I said, he looking like a snack in this. He looking like a little snack. Billy Zane is supposed to help him get rid of the body. They go. Kevin Hart don't know what happened. He go lay down. They taking care of it. They quote unquote got rid of the body. Okay. So Billy Zane tries to shake Kevin Hart down after he's gotten rid of the body for $6 million.
But you know what I think? I think that's what they was supposed to do. He was
What?
supposed to shake him down for $6 million.
I think they were supposed to. I think that was the plan that they concocted, or that the brother concocted, but he only
Hmm.
owed them $600,000. Okay, he didn't owe them more than that. That's how much he borrowed from them to invest in the restaurant. So That was supposed to be more money for them to split. They paid the 600K, and then the rest of the money goes between the three of them to split, so they can have some money. So he got mad because he already mad because he got his freeloading brother here that got him into this trouble with this girl that's dead and then OD'd on whatever. And people always taking stuff from me. So he kills Billy Zane. This was funny to me because Billy Zane
Billy
is like
Zane
6 foot.
is huge. It's huge.
And this man got a phone charger cord and then strangled this big old man. He was sweating too, baby. That was a struggle. Do you understand where I'm coming from? The kid been the same. So now for real, he got a dead body on his hand, right? Dead body. They got to figure out what to do with the dead body. So his brother up there trying to figure it out. He sees some big old trunk um at the when he's doing sound check at the concert. Stuffs the man, they get the man in the trunk, they wrap him up, they throw his body in a dumpster, they do this. Now, Kevin Hart has a fan. This man is a super fan. Like he follows him all over the country to go to different shows. He got all his movie posters, he got all memorabilia, he even got articles and pictures and stuff that Kevin Hart ain't even got, okay? Or Kevin Hart's character, the kid, doesn't even have. So this man is following him, so he goes to go talk to some kids at the children's hospital or wherever, and he was like, "Hey, say something for my for the Instagram," and he's going crazy because his dead man is in his room, and he snaps at Gene, who is played by Theo Rossi. And let me tell you something. Theo Rossi, if you don't know who he is, he played on Sons of Anarchy. And this is a total 180 from the character that he played on Sons of Anarchy. He did an excellent job because I would have never pegged him for this type of character right here. He did an excellent job. So he snapped on the guy. So the guy followed him and captured the kid and Carlton, his brother, dumping Billy Zane, which his name is Ari, body in the dumpster. Oh my God. Like, he the straight dump dude. And he got it all on tape. So now they got to try to cover this up. It's crazy. Meanwhile, Ari's crazy brothers are looking for him and they're trying to find him. And they Carlton, you heard from Ari? No, I ain't heard from Ari. I don't know where Ari yet. Just lying to the folk and scared because they coming for you. They come once they find out it was y'all, you finna get got. So Carlton and the kid they make up. He gets Gene to erase the video. Gene gets Gene to erase the video. Carlton gives Gene the watch that Ari had. He also has Ari's phone. Things are going really, really crazy. Him and Kevin Hart go through stuff. They come to an agreement. He was like, dude, okay, come with me on the road. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Just come with me on the road. Leave town. It's all good. He even paid off his brother's $600,000 debt, okay, that he owed to the crazy folk who going around killing everybody. So then he goes, his brother, he's I think at a show or something. He's drinking. He takes him home. I think they met at the restaurant. That's what happened. He takes him home, puts him in the bed, and the phone goes off. And so the phone is going off, going off, going off. So he put, it's the face recognition thing up to his phone, up to his face. I'm sorry. Put the phone up to his face. And then he sees the girl, the pictures and stuff of the girl. She took pictures of herself all in the bed and stuff. It's all in the phone. And she's asking him for her money. Like, where are you? Ain't heard from you in days, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Kevin Hart, character, the kid, sees this, he's pissed off. So he asks the police officer who was their friend, who called to let them know about the dead body. The police officer says, hey, listen, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I need to know where this girl stay. He finds out where the girl stays. The girl tells him. She was like, "It's Ari," because Ari's trying to shake me down for money. No, it was your brother. Your brother was the one who did it. She's sorry. She, whatever. It's crazy. So we go from there. Go from there. Um, he's upset. He's pissed off. He's mad. Before I go here, let's back up because I done missed Jean situation. Carlton gets Jean killed by the Crazy Brothers because Crazy Brothers are going all over town trying to find out who killed their brother. Um, he sets them up with Jean. So Jean, so they end up killing Jean, which hurt my heart. That really hurt my heart because this man was a super fan. Um, and it seems like he took one for the team because there was nothing else he was gonna be able to do in that situation because I feel like they was gonna kill him either way.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlton told they come and pick up kid because he thinking, oh, they done caught me. They know I done killed this man. They know the girl was killed. No, they was like, we didn't think you killed nobody. With your little bitty self, who you thought we thought you was? You're not a killer. So he answers the questions, let him know, what happened, the relationship with him and Jean. They were cool. I snapped at him, I took him out, I invited him to my show, that sort of thing, did that thing. That happened. Then we get to the last episode. The guys are still looking because they saying things didn't add up with the story, with Carlton's story. In Carlton's mind, he was gonna be on the road with his brother, so no harm, no foul. He never got to come back to Philly again. Well, they end up finding the girlfriend who just so happened to be at Carlton's house, dummy. Shooting kills her. Then they find out they're at the Sixers game. One of Kevin Hart's favorite teams in real life because he's from Philadelphia. He's at the game. They having fun at the game, and then he tells his bodyguard, "Step outside, go outside." He tells Carlton he met the girl. He know what he did. You're dead to me. After this, we done. Don't call me. I don't know who you are. That's the end of this. Is the end of the road. As they're coming out of the stadium and going to the Sprinter to get parked because they have special parking when you VIP and you get box seats. One day I'm gonna get box seats or sit. If I ain't sitting on the floor, I ain't in no box. I don't want it. I'm telling you, I'm sedated now. I'm uppity. But at any rate, I don't want it. I went to a Grizzly game and I was on the floor and they came and took my order, girl. Oh my God. I was like, I
You was
ain't
like, this was the life. This was the
was.
life. This is the
I didn't have to
life.
get in nobody's line to get nothing to eat. They
And
came
I
right
think it's
to
like
me.
that in the box seats too.
Yeah, they do that in the box seats. And some of the box seats, they have food already there. I need that. Okay. So, they see the guys see them, they're running. They run, they can't get nowhere. Kevin, with his serial killer behind, shoots and kills both of the Greek people and then kills his brother. And he pretends that the guy shot him. It's like he been watching Oxygen all his life. You know what I'm saying? He'd have wiped out this weapon, put the weapon in this person's hand, put the weapon in his brother's hand. He got the little blood. Oh my God, no. He got the waterworks, the tears, some acting classes been working. They pull his little butt away. So the bodyguard then got shot trying to protect them. So he's getting ready to do this interview about what happened in his hotel room. His ex-wife and his child have flown in, got all these people in the room. So he's telling this story about, his brother getting caught up in some crazy stuff, his brother getting killed and blah, 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 blah. And then before he gets to tell this story, the real story is told between the bodyguard and the manager, who's played by Paul Addison, who he is hilarious. He really gives me manager vibes. He had me rolling. But the bodyguard was like, I heard what y'all talked about. He was like, you what? You heard? How you hear that? I ain't closed the door. I heard the whole thing. So
And see, that's what makes me mad. He was mad that Kevin Hart didn't tell him what was going on. Did you really just think about it? He didn't tell you because he didn't want to put you in it, dude.
correct the moon though. But I get where he was coming from, because he was like, I'm your bodyguard. It's my job to protect you. And if you had to just simply called me from jump, he probably could have sniffed out. See, let me say this. Bodyguards are real good at sniffing out certain situations. He wasn't with them when they was out partying. He was out messing with the comedian girl. But he wasn't with them when they was out at the park. Like, he wasn't there. Normally, he's by his side, so he's able to, hey, man, nah, we don't know you. Going on over there. You know, he's able to sift certain things out. But one thing about it is they can't get, when his brother is involved, it's always a crazy situation, and all of them knew it. None of them liked his brother at all, period. He dealt with his brother because his brother was family. His brother was blood. You see what I'm saying? So that was the issue. They weren't going to be able to make him go against his brother until he finally saw his brother for who he was, which was a sneaky, conniving little Negro who didn't care. And he figured, my brother is a bazillionaire. He could get me $6 million. Ain't no big deal. You see what I'm saying? His whole attitude was that of, gimme, 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 gimme. And not, let me chill on asking my brother for this, that, and the third. Let me just calm all that down, So he heard the conversation. So Kevin went down the whole thing, told him the whole thing, what happened. The manager was like, okay. So he was like, so what is it going to take for you to, whatever he said to him. He said $6 million. $6 million. And the manager, oh, no.
No, not 6,600,000.
I thought he said 6 mil. He said 6 mil. He didn't say 600,000. He said 6 mil.
Okay.
Because 6 mil was what Ari was trying to shake him down for. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and he was actually going to give it to him, to Ari and his brother. He was gonna give it to him in increments. He was gonna give him $500,000 a month for a year. That was the plan. That's what he was gonna do. So he said, "You got it. Get him my $6 million." So are we good? We cool? Yeah, I'm gonna tell them you ready. That's all it was. All he had to do was
have it. He said, I'd rather give it to him than
than my brother who was trying to get over on me anyway. So he tells the story or whatever, they ask him the questions and he puts on the show, and that's it. Let me say this. When you famous, Pookie and Ray Ray can't always go with you to the top. You got to lead them where they at. You tried to help your brother as much as you can. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to ever help my siblings if I get to a point where I'm rich and famous, but I'm not going to let you take advantage of me neither. I'll invest in your dreams or whatever you got going on, but that's as far as I'm going with that. We're not going to be one harebrained idea after the other. We're not doing that. That ain't how you do it. So
it's like this. If I ever won the lottery, nobody's going to know I won it.
Now, that lottery thing, let me say this. I promise to God, let me win the lottery somewhere where I don't have to actually show myself. We ain't got to announce it on the TV or nothing like that.
Girl, I would be all Kim K when she went to the Met Ball when her face was all covered up. I want that designer right there to cover my face up.
Man, I said I was gonna go in the whole screen get up and go pick up my reward. You don't need to know. I'm not letting everybody know. I will let who needs to know. But everybody ain't gonna know I done won the lotto. It's just not gonna happen. So there you have it. That's a true story. It is on Netflix right now. You can binge it. It's a limited series, so no, there will not be a season 2. I think.
Because where can you go after that?
There's nowhere you can go without that. But let me think. Let me put this little idea in your ear, if you will. I think it would be good to probably possibly have a different story told by a different set of people. Um, in opposed to having that whole story continue, because I'm sure he gonna get that back past him, go pay a therapist and go on about his business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a pick of the week?
Well, Harlem, but we talk about that later.
We're gonna talk about Harlem. We are gonna talk about Harlem.
So, so
Um,
that's all I'm gonna say. I'm
okay,
loving it. I'm loving it. I'm not done watching it, but I'm
it's
like,
really really
okay,
good. I
it
watched it over the holiday season. I did.
Black Sex in the City vibes for me.
Yeah,
I already said Megan Good's characters is Carrie. So Carrie.
yeah, yeah.
So, what about you?
I'm gonna take it back to I'm gonna take it back to I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take it back to I finished watching A Different World. Um, I'm A Different World. It is. I like how they have it on HBO Max, but what I did not like was how they didn't. And I guess they didn't know how to put it in the particular order, because there were episodes that were not aired in the last season. There were last season episodes, but they weren't aired in the last season. Um,
Right.
and
They
because they
waited.
weren't aired in the last season, what ended
They
up
wasn't in the
happening,
right place.
they weren't in the right place. So after the very last episode, I was like, well, where are the lost episodes? And they came on right after that very last episode. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed reminiscing and going back. Um, it's just been um it's just been a treat to just go back and watch that, and to see now, ironically, you were talking about Harlem being your show pick of the week. Harlem, Jasmine Guy stars as one of the characters' mom on the show now.
Man, she is ruthless. And does she have like a Creole accent or something?
She does. So they're from the islands. So
Okay.
it's an
Okay.
island accent, because I think she's like Trinidad and Tobago or something. And in real life, the young lady, Boo Boo Kitty, I call her Boo Boo Kitty from Empire, because she was gonna get married to Lucius Lyons um on the first season of
Okay, that's who she
Empire.
is.
Yeah, that's who she is. And so I always call her Boo Boo Kitty whenever I see her. She's been on several different things after Empire, has been doing her thing, and she actually is married to the guy who plays Andre, who was the oldest son of Lucius Lyons. They're married in real life. Um, but she is from, I think, Trinidad and Tobago, so they put that little island thing in there, so she has an island accent. um so yeah, that's what it is. But they are well to do, they're rich. She grew up Upper East Side. That was her life. That's the life that she lived. And so her mom and her dad are very rich, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I did that. I loved it.
Her mama talked down on her like
Yeah.
it was
But a lot of
nothing.
moms are like that. You know, they mean well, but they really don't. You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, um, we had a lot of people have mama issues because of that, because they feel like, they can talk to you any kind of way because I birthed you, baby. It's crazy. A couple of little things. We watched live in front of a studio audience. The Facts of Life in different strokes.
I tell you, they did right when they cast Kevin. I mean,
Let me tell you something.
uh,
Kevin
uh,
Hart is
Hart.
Arnold.
No, stop.
I don't care what nobody say. That man was Arnold, and he did his thing. He played Arnold. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it. It was super funny. They tried so hard not to laugh. I think Snoop them did a good job in not laughing at Kevin because I would have lost it. Um, but Jennifer Aniston and crew could not contain themselves. And Jennifer had to try to keep a straight face
Hold
without.
on. When the dude, Mr. Drummond, had to put Kevin Hart on his lap, I was like,
Yes, James Lithgow, John Lithgow. I'm sorry.
and he talked just like Mr. Drummond too. He talked just like the actor that played Mr. Drummond, the original one.
Right, he did. That let me tell you, he and my girl Aunt Lydia,
She played
um,
good Mrs. Garrett.
she
They
did
had
an
her
excellent
hair.
job.
Now, I wasn't really feeling Gabrielle Union
Well,
as
I mean, she didn't
Tootie.
have that many lines. She didn't
Yeah,
have that
but
many
even with
lines.
the lines that she had,
She didn't have that many lines. I know
even with
Gabby
the
can act.
lines,
I know she can act in real life. I'm not mad at it. She didn't have that many lines. The story wasn't about her anyway. It was about the other girls, and they did an excellent job. The girl that played Natalie, I loved it. I enjoyed it. Jennifer Aniston had me, bro. She tried so hard not to laugh at those fools because they are all three of them. John Stewart, Jason Bateman. Hold on, because I need to know what this man's. I know his name. I know his name. Hold on. They
Jason
had me
Bateman,
rolling.
John Stewart, Jason Bateman, and John, is it Jason Sudeikis?
Huh?
Is it Jason Sudeikis?
That's not Will Arnett. That's who
Will
it was.
Arnett. Will
No,
Arnett. Okay,
remember
I knew it
Jason
was
Sudeikis is
a.
Ted Lasso.
Okay, I knew it was a SNL alum.
All of yeah, I died. They are fools in real life, and it showed. I like that. Lisa Whelchel, who played the original Blair, on the Facts of Life, sung the opening number.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. Not only did she sing the opening number, but I like that Kim Fields and Mindy Cohn joined her after she got through
Right.
singing the song. I think
Nancy
that was
couldn't
good.
join them because Nancy, I think she had an emergency at home. I think it was the intent to come, but she had an emergency
Okay.
in her home, and that's why she didn't
Oh
join.
wow. And I love Nancy Keegan. She's amazing. She's been on a multitude of Lifetime movies that I have watched time and time again. And then Boys to Men opened up with Different Strokes. I thought I liked that. Let me say this. What show do you think they should do next year?
Okay, don't get mad. It's between two.
Okay.
What's happening now
Okay.
and Welcome Back, Carter.
Now, typically, I don't know, does what's happening in Welcome Back Carter have a connection?
I don't know.
Typically, they do the shows that have a connection. That's what I've known the pattern to be. Now, I don't know
If that's the case, then they need to do Happy Days and Mork and Mindy.
that would be cute for them to do that. Um, I thought about crossover shows. Um, it is gonna come to me because what's happening? I know they had what's happening now, but I thought they had another show that they might have been connected to. I don't know. We'll see. But I think this is really, really cool. And it's,
But yeah, I would like to see a live thing of Welcome Back, Carter.
that'd be
I want
cool.
to. Yeah, that would be cool.
Girl, let me tell you something. And I think they're doing it because Norman Lear is over it. So it has to be like a Norman Lear show, if I'm not mistaken. But y'all can do my Golden Girls now. I'm just saying, y'all can go on and put Dorothy and them up there and have Betty White come on. I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere, okay? I want to see my Golden Girls. I'm just putting it out there.
Ooh, or give me a break.
Who?
Give me a break.
Give me a break is a good one. Yes, yes, yes. Give me a break. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. We finna
But I
start.
just want to hear, welcome back.
Yeah,
Your
welcome back.
dreams was your ticket out.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. So Euphoria is coming back in January. I did get to see a teaser of the new season. Rue's still high. I'm just gonna put that out there right. She's still high. Um, she did win Golden Globe for
I
this
think she
role.
did. I think she did.
So this I think this comes out on January the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me
Hmm.
make sure I got this right because typically it comes on the
Is that on Sunday? So that
yeah.
could be it.
So it airs on HBO January the 9th. So you will get to see Zendaya. I know they do have the Spider-Man Far From No Way Home is coming out on Thursday at midnight. I imagine my kids and I will probably go to the drive-in and see it on Sunday evening because I'm not about that life. I'm not. I'm not going to the movie theater. Maybe till sometime in 2023. Maybe I'll go sit in a movie theater. I don't know, but I
So
if they
so that means we're gonna have to do our show early because don't they do it when it gets dark?
yeah, we'll be done by about 6. We can go at 7 or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Do y'all watch
Oh
both
crap.
movies?
Oh crap. Well, they out of school. We'll pick a day, one day next week to go see a child. We'll be all right. They'll be
Okay.
okay. They
Okay.
still mad at me because we didn't go see the Venom movie, and I'm sorry, somebody got in trouble, so I wasn't taking him to go see the Venom.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, Euphoria, January the 9th. Y'all check that out on HBO and HBO Max. Also, we were talking about this before we got started. Women of the Movement is an ABC in limited series, and it is about
Oh,
Emmett
I
Till's
don't
mom.
know if I can stomach this. I'm gonna watch it but I don't know if I'm gonna stomach this because you already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we do know what's going to happen, but I don't think this is necessarily particularly about what happened. Of course, they have to tell the story of what happened, but it's about what she did in her fight after the fact. You
Oh,
get where I'm
okay.
coming from? So
Okay, yeah.
what she did to make sure that she um to make sure that her voice was heard and that she spread that message about her boy. This was shot in Memphis, by the way.
Mm,
So I have a couple of friends that are extras in the show.
mm,
And so
mm.
shout out to them for getting the position in the job of being extras.
Now who's
Um
playing his mom?
she is a Broadway star. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can Google her real quick. But she is from Broadway. I thought that was. Let me tell you who I thought that was. Let me tell you who she looked like. She looks
I
like
thought
Niecy
that
from Moesha. That's who I thought it was.
or I thought it was Eva Marcel.
Girl ain't no. Nope. She don't look like Eva. Show don't. Her name is Adrienne Warren.
Okay.
That's what her name is. Um they have some Cedric Joe is playing Emmett Till, Ray Fisher
I'm
is
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the
okay.
cast.
Gene Mobley, Tanya Pickens, and Glenn Turman are both playing in this limited series. Some other faces that I have never seen are also going to be playing in this as well. Um, I think this is gonna be good. I think that it is great to I think that it's gonna be great to see how this unfolds. A lot of people don't know what Mamie Till went through during this process. So this is gonna be the story I think told from her perspective. So yeah, we know what's gonna happen. Um
I just don't want them to reenact the body on how it looks.
you know when I don't know how deep they're gonna get with this, but on what's the name of that show
Lovecraft
we love?
Country.
They didn't show his
That was so good because I was thinking because you know what type of show that was. I really thought they was gonna reenact his body and
Yeah,
show it.
yeah,
And I was like, "Ooh, do not do that."
yeah, yeah.
And I
So
was so glad.
I can't wait to see it. I definitely can't wait to see it. She's got yeah, that girl do not look like no Eva Marcel, and she's darker than Eva. No,
Well, because of the way the lighting is, but just think about it. You put her on some brown contacts, some dark brown contacts, in a wig that kind of do look like evil.
mm-mm.
Okay.
She looked like Niecy from. She looked like Niecy from what's the name of that darn?
For
She looks like
Moesha.
Niecy from Moesha, and that's who I thought it was. I thought it was Shar Jackson, and I was like, "Come on, Shar, you about you the comeback." And then they was like, "Nah, girl, that's not her." But this girl has been on Broadway, so I can't wait to see this. January the 6th on ABC. Make sure y'all are checking it out. If you guys will, I need y'all to do us a favor and subscribe to our channel, the Size Up
Hmm.
Official Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell, so you can be notified whenever we go live, and you can join in on the conversation. Here on its own, we talk about everything: TV, movies, TV, television news, that sort of thing. Quite a few actors just got nominated for the Golden Globes too. I think I'll mention that next week. I thought it was really, really good.
And we
Um,
also going to be talking about our top 10 Christmas
yes,
movies.
Christmas movies, and that's actually going to be our last show of the year. We won't come back to it's on until your birthday is on the what?
The third.
So we won't
So,
be doing it's on again until the 10th. So we're gonna take a breaky break for real, from it's on um after next week. Our last show for the Size Up is on the 19th, which is next Sunday. That's going to be our year in review show. We will be back on the 2nd for the Size Up. So make sure y'all are tuning in. And the only way you're going to be able to get with us is if you um, go and follow us on our
subscribe
pages,
to our
and
channel.
go ahead and share it too. Share it with other folks. Please make sure y'all are sharing, and we're gonna go from there. Um, this is all we have for you guys tonight. We'll see y'all next week when we do our top 10 Christmas movies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about some of the rundowns of some of the shows. We might not talk about the reality shows next week because I think we're gonna have a special guest. That's gonna be exciting. But make sure you
Yes.
guys tune in next week. We will see y'all then. So y'all keep watching TV, and hey, if y'all got some show ideas, send them to us. All right?
And you know, starting January the 4th, yes, guess what comes back on?
This is
This
us,
is us. So
the
we're
final
gonna
season.
start. We're gonna add that to the rotation. And I think another show is supposed to be coming on too. This that week too. The last season of Blackish.
Yes, last season of Blackish. So we got these endings coming up. So we're gonna work it out. And that's all we got. So we will see you guys next week.
All right. Bye
Bye.
bye.